Destiny, fate, and things of that nature. You see patterns, all those things. But anyway, but is it something we create? Is it psychologically? Is it something that makes us feel safe? Hey, something's in control. This is not chaos. There's a pattern. Or are we destined to get to where we're supposed to be? Can we throw randomness into the system? All those things that I like about randomness and the universe and how I see us operating not only in a world based upon zeros and ones and randomness in the computers, but something similar based upon logic out here in the real world. And if there is an anomaly, if there isn't a Neo, then that's perhaps an interesting idea. But anyway, let's play this serendipity, and it goes to free will, free choice, and possibly the Mandela effect and glitches in the Matrix. Anyway, let's play it.
Kansky noted, ultimately Jonathan concluded that if we are to live life in harmony with the universe, we must all possess a power. Traeger.
Let me start at the beginning.
Jonathan Traeger, prominent television producer for ESPN, died last night from complications of losing his soulmate and his fiancée. He was 35 years old. He was soft-spoken and obsessive. Traeger never looked the part of a hopeless romantic. But in the final days of his life, he revealed an unknown side of his psyche. This hidden quasi-Jungian persona surfaced during the Agatha Christie-like pursuit for his long-reputed soulmate, a woman whom he only spent a few precious hours with. Sadly, the protracted search ended late Saturday night in complete and utter failure. Yet even in certain defeat, the courageous Traeger secretly clung to the belief that life is not merely a series of meaningless accidents or coincidences, but rather it's a tapestry of events that culminate in an exquisite, sublime plan.
A tapestry of events that eventually culminate in some sort of divine plan. But we have to realize, I think, when I think about that, it's time. How do we know reality? And then how do we know we're here? Because why we know we're here is because we were there before. So when we talk about things trickling towards this divine event, right? We're saying that life is a journey. It's linear. It has a beginning, but it's not linear. It's a line segment. It has a beginning and an end. I think things are much more cyclical. And if we're seeing glitches in the matrix, I think that's evidence of a cyclical universe as opposed to one that just gets somewhere. Remember what Bono said, life's a journey, not a destination, or somebody said that, I don't know. Maybe it was the dude, but somebody said life's a journey, not a destination.
Ask about the loss of his dear friend.
Bon Jovi? Anyway, let's go.
Dean Kansky, the Pulitzer Prize winning author and executive editor of the New York Times, described Jonathan as a changed man in the last days of his life. Things were clearer for him, Kansky noted. Ultimately, Jonathan concluded that if we are to live life in harmony with the universe, we must all possess a powerful faith in what the ancients used to call fatum, what we currently refer to as destiny.
So here's that phantom, destiny. That's worth a research point, and I'm gonna stop that one there. It just gets a little more emotional, little okay, looking over at the roller skate, the ice rink where you met the woman, and then you get your love and everything. I think they eventually get together, some glove thing. Anyway, from movie clips, yeah, that's where we got that. Let's go back into the channel since we're talking about things And then there's my live call for journalists. And this is my big thing, guys. You too can do this. I did want to point out a couple of poetry readings that I did before my last live. Let me go ahead and play those. This one done in collaboration with It's Me, NJ. NJ, another collaborator on YouTube. Let me go ahead and play this one, and then we'll play my version of more connections. They were supposed to be connected, and now I have to double check and see if they still are.
Feel for me. I hide myself within my flower that wearing on your breast. I hide myself within my flower that's fading from your waist. You, unsuspecting, wear me too, and angels know the rest. I hide myself within my flower that's fading from your waist. You unsuspecting fell for me. Almost alone.
So that goes back. Hey, if contributors, maybe hey, you're saying, hey, I'm not a journalist, I don't want to do that type of thing, but maybe you want to do some poetry, sing, or whatever. Hey, you want to collaborate, and let's all be one big channel together instead of us all being out here separate doing our own thing. Make us a nice channel. Maybe we can have hee haw. Maybe we can bring it back to Saturday Night Cartoon or something. But anyway, let's get started on this other one. And here's me going on with okay, so this was NJ, and she was doing an Emily Dickinson one. This one here, I'm doing Ernest Hemingway, and somehow this was connected in a literary thing, but it was a while ago, and I'll have to refresh.
A clean, well-lighted place by Ernest Hemingway. It was very late, and everyone had left the cafe except a man who sat in the shadow the leaves of the tree made against the electric light. In the daytime, the street was dusty, but at night, the dew settled the dust, and the old man liked to sit late because he was deaf.
So there was the connection. So the Emily Dickinson was about a flower on the lapel of this mysterious individual that she was thinking about, as if she was the flower or was her flower on this person's lapel. And it was sort of secretive, and it was went to this sort of emptiness of our very being, in that there should be such a strong connection, maybe deep in the soul or somewhere in there in the flower, but not in the real world. And it went to that emptiness, and it was presented in a very feminine way. Emily Dickinson, man and woman, and then Ernest Hemingway presented it in a masculine way, I suppose. I'm a movie guy, so like sometimes I'll make literary references. I envision the Vikings from the movie with Antonio Banderas, the 13th War, laughing at the dangers of the sea. A warrior ethos of something of that nature, which we could say that is what Hemingway was with his bullfighting, his stories of safaris in Africa, war stories, and you know that whole thing there. He was expressing his person and who he was as a man in the way that a man would. And now I'll let this one continue. Oh, so here we go. Old man in a well lit place. He's comfortable there. He comes there often. And everything, as we'll see, transpires. And it's a short story, actually. What did he fear?
It was not fear or dread. It was nothing that he knew too well. It was all nothing. And man was nothing too. Usually that's a matter. I'm lost. I was doing anything to it. Very fuzz of it. Very.
Some lived in it and never felt it, but he knew it. He knew it all was nada pues nada. Nada pues nada. Nada e nada. Nada pues nada. Nada e pues nada. Anyway, that kind of. Anyway, that ends on a kind of. Anyway, that's what we got going on here. And then here we got a nice little end screen. You know, I've searched this one before, right? Final scene. Let's do it.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin.
It's going to begin with you. Wow, wow, I've got my other YouTube channels have been redirected by the algorithm to this particular page. Oh, actually, maybe they're watching me. So that's cool. It's going on over there. Anyway, freedom of speech. You can do this 6 degrees of separation. If you had 6 friends, I had 6 friends. We all wanted to spread the word and be journalists, our own little individual journalists. These things I've just created with PowerPoint, Google Slides, things that are, well, right there on a very cheap laptop. There you go. You're a journalist. And so we don't have to rely on, so we don't have to get upset when the media isn't honest. They're not telling the truth. We can change this. We could do this. I have a few platforms up there. If we join a few here, get some more people out there putting the platforms up, and let's have the people take it back. Let's have the people take back our freedom of speech, the First Amendment. It's the first one.
I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go.
So anyway, there we go. I don't know. Click on my page, go to my channel, check out some stuff. Follow me on Instagram and those other places or whatever. But anyway, hey, the idea is, hey, let's speak out. It's the first one. This is the First Amendment. It's our first one. It's the most cherished one. It's actually our freedom of religion too. So it's very, very cherished. It's the first one. Anyway, thanks for joining. I'm going to see what's going to happen with this live. I probably should have recorded it locally, but let's see. Hopefully YouTube handles this sort of thing and they have a copy for me. Anyway, y'all take care. I'll see you next time.